Hello and welcome to this tutorial on ABRSM from the new grade 7 book 2023-2024, the new syllabus. This is, I don't know how you pronounce this person's name, Rahbee, Prelude, Twilight. It's the List C, it's the second piece. I really like this piece. Now, I've put up my own performance on YouTube with the Synthesia stuff. I play it probably way slower than it should be, slower than the metronome marking. But I actually went onto the internet and I downloaded, I think there's a dissertation that someone wrote. I can't remember, it's a few days since I looked at it, but I will put a link to it in the description below. And basically it talks about exactly the piece within that. And this person has described, the composer described exactly what this piece is about. And this information, it's not, I have to reach over, it's not in the teaching notes either. And it's not in the information here, but it's sort of, it tells you what these repeated notes are about. So from the beginning, we've got these repeated E notes in the right hand. And this E again, this E again, this E again, this E again, and so on and so on. So what is this E all about? And it does say in this page, it's a haunting bell-like note. And the composer writes, these pedal point notes require a special tone quality, deep, rich, and warm. Now the thing is, that's not exactly what the composer actually said. The composer said that these notes are supposed to represent the bars of a prison. It's representing either the prison from inside or looking outside from the prison or looking into the prison. It doesn't really make a lot of sense to me. And so the composer said that you can play it sort of heavy and rich, or it can be much lighter depending on your perspective. And basically I get the impression that she's not really quite sure exactly what she wants with these things, but there is like a sense of trapped about them. Now something else that she said, which isn't said anywhere else in this book or the teaching notes, is that this piece, the title Twilight, it's not about twilight in one day. It is about twilight years. It's about being old. It's twilight, the twilight years. It's feeling old. So as I sort of piece everything together, okay, it's the twilight years. It's growing old, but it's also about a kind of prison. And so you know, I'm searching for a kind of heaviness. All the family's left. All the good stuff has left. There's only memories. It's very sad. And this sort of, whatever this prison is, I don't know, maybe it's ill health. Maybe it's not being able to move much and being stuck in the home. Maybe it could be something like coronavirus lockdown. I mean, no, it was written in 1995. But, you know, imagine when we were all in lockdown and just staring out the window. It might be that kind of thing. But whatever it is, it's like all hope is kind of gone. It's hopeless, I think. And all we've got is a little bit of nostalgia. It's very bittersweet. So that's why I went for it slower. I could have gone faster, I think, you know, like, let me take it a little quicker. But it doesn't really capture that to me. It's fragile, gentle and delicate. It's an old person who can't move a lot. and is just staring and just nothing to look forward to. And maybe this is like, it's an obsessive thought. It's like I think depression sometimes is described as like obsessive thinking. It's obsessive thinking about things that are sad, and it's like, this is the obsessive thought. Being locked in sadness, maybe. Now something else, I think when I've listened to other people play this, you want to hear that this is the melody. And I really recommend actually just practicing the melody. It is not, sorry, if I go from the beginning, it's not boom, like it's all the same melody. They are two different lines. You want to imagine this is like, what instrument could this be? This could be like an oboe. So we've got, and then what would this be? It almost is like a bell, isn't it? But I'm trying to think what sort of more traditional instrument this might be. Maybe a horn, maybe a French horn. It's a French horn, and which does have quite a warm, deep, rich, warm sound, the horn. But it's still very sad. So imagine a French horn. If you're not sure what a French horn sounds like, at grade 7 piano grade 7 level, by now you need to be able to imagine all the orchestral colours. So go listen to some orchestras, really familiarise yourself with what a French horn would sound like if it was playing this. And this left hand is like cellos and violas. French horn, French horn, and then what did I say? Oboe. Very, very sad oboe, French horn. And you're still listening to this oboe playing this line, because I think for a lot of people, the moment they play that and then come down here, it's like that note stopped existing. You have to still hear it as if you're still making that sound. So if you're playing the oboe, you can't then go and then just, oh, I'm not playing it anymore. You're still playing it. You're still actively playing it. So you have to listen to that note even as you play the French horn. So the dum, 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 da, da, da. So this is why a lot of piano teachers sing badly as they play and as they teach, and why they make their students sing. Because if you can sing it, that means that you are hearing it. So I'll go again and sing it from the beginning. Have to take a big breath. Bum, da, dum, 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 da, dum, da, dum, dum, da, da, dum, 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 da, da. And you need to be listening to those notes. They don't just stop existing the moment you lift your finger away from them. And then, in my opinion, these repeated E's are quiet. But what I use is, and I've spoken about this in loads of my other ABRSM videos and loads of the other grade 7 videos, you use an agogic accent. Now, I'm not sure if this worked, but it's up to you if you want to try this. It's up to you if you think this works or not. So what I do is I just wait. I wait a little bit before I play it. And then it draws the listener's ear to it without you having to play it loudly. And then this comes louder, and then here, I just wait just a little bit before I play that note. And then I don't need to play it loudly to draw someone's attention to it, but it is clear that this melody is still happening. So I'm keeping them both going, and that's how I do it. With the pause. And so that is my solution. The tune is louder. This tolling bell is not louder. It's quiet, but it has a pause just before it. And you imagine the sound of a French horn. Yeah, what more? I could go into huge amounts of depth with it, but I think, to be honest, that's probably the most important stuff. And once you've kind of felt all of that, everything else shouldn't be so much, there shouldn't be anything difficult anywhere else. You do have this sort of slightly trickier bit from bar 10. Yeah. And I suppose in my version I could have taken it a little bit faster, but I just wanted to bring out sort of more of the melancholy and more of the being old aspect of it. And you want to feel, I've been talking a lot in my other videos about interoception in the chest, that you don't just want to, like, if I just play the notes, I'm going to play everything correctly. But I'm not feeling it, and it's all correct. But when you play like the third beat of bar 10, you want to feel physical pain as a result of how much tension there is in those notes. This is sweet. That is emotional pain, and when we feel it in the chest. Oh, it's so painful. I mean, I don't know exactly the words, the emotional words for it. It's like there's a bitterness, there's a bittersweetness to it. I love this jazz harmony, love that G sharp. But these intervals, they're so dissonant. You want to feel it. You want to feel the anguish. It's a little bit anguished. Not quite anguish, but it's like, oh, it's grief. That's what this is. I think that yeah, when I hear that, it is the sharp pain of grief. It's not a pleasant emotion, but cathartic to feel it. Lovely and warm. Oh, so much pain. And there's a warmth in letting the body feel those things and let them move through us. Is that right? Yeah. It's moving through us. And just when we think it's getting better, we've got this, this is such painful grief. And then here, how do we get a clean, clear, fresh tone? Basically, we play reasonably loudly, but still with a beautiful tone in the right hand, and we bring the left hand right down. That's how that happens. Let me go from the bar before. Oh my God, there's so much pain in this. So after this painful grief, it's like opening the eyes and looking around and going, I'm alone. It's a very depressing piece, really. This is my take on it, you know. It's like, and you look around and it's just me in my empty room. With some happy memories just starting to seep through. A little bit more sweetness here. A life well lived, maybe, but with all the sadness of being left alone at the end of it all. back to the prison. That was a little bit too harsh in the right hand. Very hard not to be too harsh. Bell, well, a French horn, prison cell. Think of it as well like a tolling bell, like a funeral tolling bell kind of thing. That has a similar kind of feel. Okay, yeah, sorry about that. I'm back now. I just ran out of batteries for my voice recorder. So anyway, yes, I was just saying, and I like my right hand. So we were just at the end, very, very quiet, and then I like the right hand to come over and play that very low B at the end. Again, I generally do like to do this in crossover. It's stagecraft. It's like a theatrical way of ending a piece. So move nice and slowly. Keep moving. Let the audience know it's not finished yet. It's not finished yet. It's not finished. Listen to the note die away. Feel the atmosphere. Feel the atmosphere. And then you can relax, and then you get the wild applause, or the examiner goes, "Yeah, good ending." So anyway, I think that's sort of pretty much all I want to say about it. There's a lot more that I could talk about, and a lot more that I would teach with it. But I think that's the essence of it. Yeah. So basically, if you enjoyed this tutorial, please do all the usual YouTube stuff, press subscribe, leave comments. If you like my teaching style, I am available for online lessons, and I have space for students at the moment. Love online teaching. And yeah, I hope this is useful, and thank you for listening and watching to the end, and see you for the next one. I will let you go do some practice now. Goodbye.